Dr. Jenna from Heart-Based Medicine. I really hope this video works because it's a bit windy out here, but I really wanted to do this out in nature. My experience from the Navajo, when I was in medical school, I moved on in my residency, which I did in family practice. I moved on to do my rural rotation with some tribes in different parts of the country. The first one was the Pima and Papago, which are down in Arizona. And the second one was with the Menominee people up in Wisconsin. Again, very different tribes, very different parts of the U.S. The Menominee had beautiful forests. They had a forestry industry. They'd built schools. I learned to play bingo. I learned to ice fish with them. And the Pima and Papago were more down in the Arizona desert. Now, unfortunately for them, they had very, very fertile ground, and the river was diverted to basically build Phoenix, and so they were living in a wasteland. Were not able to grow any vegetables anymore, and unfortunately, they had succumbed to quite a lot of modern Western disease. We had huge amounts of diabetes even down into teenagers, which hadn't been seen before with type 2 diabetes when I was working there. It is unfortunately more common now. Lots of gallbladder disease, again, down into teenagers, lots of heart disease, lots of obesity. What I was able to do when I was there was I also went and did rounds at the Phoenix Indian Medical Center. Now, unlike my other experience of living on the reservation, I lived in Phoenix and I drove out to the reservation every day. And that's what the doctors did. They didn't live with the people. So it was a very different experience. When I went to Phoenix Indian Medical Center, it was like any big hospital, very industrialized, very institutional, gray, and many tribes actually used it, not just one tribe. But what I learned, I was sent to talk to one of the social workers there and learn about the hospital and how it worked. But what I really learned was something very different. The social worker revealed to me that he was a medicine man, that he was a healer, and that many other people that worked in the hospital were also healers, and that they did their healing behind closed doors. So, for example, a janitor mopping the floors closes the door quietly and does a healing on his tribal member. Someone delivering food, also the same thing, quietly closed the door, and the doctors really had no idea this was going on in the hospital. So it was an amazing thing to discover. And again, the way that their way of healing and their way of medicine was still being honored and taken care of, even in this white man industrial hospital. So the doctors thought they were doing the healing, but in fact, it was probably the medicine men and medicine women who were really doing the healing in that place. And people did get better and they did go home. And it was the only way it really could have worked because there were so many different tribes that used that hospital. So again, an amazing experience. And I felt so honored to be basically let in on the secret and then get to see the secret at work. So I'll keep posting more videos about other tribes I've worked with and other experiences. Thanks for listening.